So did I share the no, I didn't share the invite link. I'm coming. I'm coming. Paste into WhatsApp. Okay. We are
Okay.
online. We are live online somehow.
Good.
We are live online. It says Joanna
Okay.
online. Oh, because I haven't got my video on. Okay. Oh, I'm looking lovely.
Okay. I'm going to jump in on my phone.
Okay.
So I'll go on my, so I'll end the WhatsApp and then
Yep.
jump in on the link. Okay.
Okay.
See you in a sec.
Okay. Doing my hair.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
On live. I'm live and I'm doing my hair. There we go. You can see how I do my hair. Lovely. Well, Xanthia is coming in a second, and what we're going to do is we do some editing of Malena Valley. So I'm not going to watch the live stream. I've got many windows to navigate. Um, and I'm going to turn that transcripty thing back on. Xanthia's nearly here. Here she is. Hello.
Hello, hello. Sitting at the table. How does that work? That looks fine. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're looking just lovely in the lounge room.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So,
Got Malena Valley. Woo, woo, woo.
oh, you've got the printed. Okay. The first one. I'm a little slower. I'm just opening up my Google Docs. So, why don't we explain what we're doing here live? We're live, by the way. They've seen me do my hair. They've seen all sorts of things. Uh-oh. I can't hear you. Let's see what happens. La, 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 la. Maybe I have to oh, she's gone. Okay. And she's back.
Oh, there you. I
Yes,
thought
you
it was
cut it. You cut out. What happened? Where you go?
Oh, it was me. Oh, okay. I don't know. I just left it, but it could have been my end. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was. Well,
It
I'm
to
on
make
Wi-Fi.
us it makes no difference. Maybe it was me. I don't know.
We'll
We
work
will
with
see
it.
later. Right. So, um, okay, Malena Valley.
Yes. It's
Okay. Okie dokie. So let's tell everyone, other than fixing our hair and getting sorted,
hmm
what we're doing here and why is it live.
yeah.
So I wrote a novel last year, yeah, end of 2025. It was around this time, actually, last year, that I started channeling through when I was walking around the park. One of the
Mhm.
first stories that ended up becoming the novel. By the way, I am a teacher. I'm
Mhm.
not a novelist. I didn't know what I was doing for quite a while.
Mhm.
I was being given stories, so I was just writing the stories and trying to make the stories as nice to read, I suppose.
Mhm.
Um, and somewhere along the line, while being guided this way, I was writing a story that got bigger and bigger, and the character in the story, or there was character and then another character come in, another character comes in, and it's
Mhm.
kind of it's interesting when you're writing fiction because you don't actually, well, the way I wrote it, I didn't know who was going to be in the book. I was I was like I was reading the book as I'm writing the book. Um,
Yeah.
And I think people who write fiction in that way, in that very channeled way, find it a really lovely process. Um, Many people write fiction just because it's a lovely process.
Did you have any writer's block, or was it always just
Never.
naturally coming?
No,
It
it was the
just
opposite. It was the opposite. I had too much to write all the time. It's
So
like
how
I've
did you
just got to
organize?
finish this chapter so that I can get on to the next one because the next one's waiting in the queue. Like there was a queue.
Did it come sequentially, or did you have to do some organization?
Yeah,
Like,
there was some organizing going on. I'll see if I can find the uh, the little
so
map
what?
that I had to
What?
create.
Yeah, what we're thinking about with creating these lives is that you can help us with this, writing process of well, in not the writing process because that has been done, but more the editing and the publication and how something like this, like a fiction book, comes to be a product. So that is a
Yeah,
big
even
why
just
Malaysia
follow
get
along, share your two bob. Why not?
yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm looking for. I'm looking for the map that I created on in Canva so I can share with you how it happened. Show more. Here we go. Here it is. This is my storyboard. I'll share it if I can find my screen. There it is. Share,
Yes,
share. What am I sharing for you? Come on. There we
mm.
go. Um, I'll just share my Canva. Okay, so this is this is
Oh,
my storyboard. I'll show you what it started as. Whoops, it started as all these ideas over here. This is like the bucket full of ideas that have come through.
okay.
And as I was given a lot of story ideas, and I would the name of the story, and I'd write out a little bit there, and then when I would write the chapter, it would come
Mm.
into like a very disorganized version of this. Right? So this is actually each chapter here and the
Mm.
name of the chapter and little description of what's going on. And so I wrote up to about here and then I realized, oh, this character needs a story and that story is that. So I would write that story and then put it into. And so as you read the book, you'll see that there are stories inside stories. So this
Mm.
is how I tracked what was going on because the characters have to refer back to what happened at a
Yeah.
different time. So the other thing that I needed to track was the family tree and who belonged to
Oh
everyone
yeah.
and the like groupings of people because I was creating community. And then I have all the names, right?
Yeah.
So little bits of information that I had to go online and find out the dates of things and make sure the people are the right age and it all tracks. And um, these are all um, I looked up male names and female names to be able to choose Hawaiian names that link in with the feeling of that character. And then over here, I started to create the actual um, it's a family tree, but they're not all familially connected. It's like the family tree of the valley. So I had to have um, people, husbands and wives, and married and their children, like because they're Hawaiian family. They're not biological family, if that makes sense. So yeah, lots of all of this, and then I realized that my goal for um, the whole entire idea, um, you can see in the timeline here, I think
Oh
this
yeah.
is the end of week 1 program, right? In the storyline. And that's week 1 and the beginning idea, which I can't remember where that is placed now. Maybe it's up here. The idea of the whole thing. Um, we have we have title ideas here, and I think in here, this box here is actually me writing the whole entire concept of what I thought was one book, but it's not one book. It's going to be
Oh,
like five books. And
yeah.
then because you can see that this is just week one, and
Of the
then
retreat.
I've got the next book sort of half planned here because things that happen over here have to continue over here.
Yeah.
And so even when I was writing book one, I couldn't make it shorter. So it's there's part one and part two of book one.
Yeah.
That's why you have two print books, because
Yeah.
they're part one is up to chapter 14, and then part two is 15 to 28. And that the end of part two just gets you to here to the end of the week one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I couldn't make it any smaller. Like it had to be what it had to be. Why? Because it's not really me directing it. I'm just writing it.
Yeah.
So I realized that I had to really track it as I'm writing it because I
Yeah.
didn't make it up beforehand. I
Yeah.
received the entire idea of
Yeah.
what the book needs to help people with.
Mm.
Um, and then I started just being guided writing it.
Mm.
And so I had to visually track it as well because I was losing track of who is everyone, and it goes over multiple generations, and
Yeah.
it's really, yeah,
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Even as a reader, it does have a lot of complexity, and just once you get the flow, it's fine. Just not
Yeah,
complexity, just it's like Game of Thrones. It's just knowing whose family's who and how it all
yeah,
works, and it
yeah.
clicks. You'll get
So,
it. You'll get
so
it.
part of the reason why we're doing this process, our chatty process, and we're
Mhm.
putting it all live online. So if anyone
Mhm.
is a devout follower of us and want to watch us work, they can. But really, this is the last time that I'm going to be talking to anyone who's watching the video as audience on YouTube, because really we're just going to be working now. So the reason why we're doing what we're doing is to um it's to make sure that Xanthia, who is a audience member, who like a reader of the book, has come
Mhm.
to it without any preparation whatsoever. And
Mhm.
I'm using her as a sounding board of things like, actually, at this point, I just got completely lost of who belongs to who and how old people are and where do they live? And so all
Mhm.
of those questions that are running around or were running around in Xanthia's mind when she's reading it, I need to address that in the text so that,
Mhm.
because her questions are going to be your questions when you're
Yeah.
reading. And I don't want you to be lost. I don't want you to be distracted from what the book is trying to teach you,
Yes. Which
because
is
I'm a teacher. That's
yeah.
what I do, right? So,
Yeah.
it's a novel, but it's also designed as a teaching tool. It's
Correct.
designed as a way to learn these Hawaiian-based um, life perception concepts. So
Mhm.
until you're living them, they're just concepts.
Yeah.
But if you're never introduced to the understanding, and there's one character who's really like a fish out of water in the beginning, which is what the audience, the reader of the book
Mhm.
can follow
We'll
along with
see.
him.
Yeah.
Um, he is taken on an introductory pathway. That's what the whole first week of the book, or the
Mhm.
timing of the book is. It's um, Ethan is the character's name. He
Yeah.
he is a fish out of water, and he's mentored and he's involved in the happenings of the retreat, and the idea of following him through the book is that the reader is generally going to be in some kind of position that he's in, and
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
he learns, the reader can learn too.
Yeah.
And so that's the beginning idea. And honestly, I I just had such a global understanding of what the book has to do. And I
Mm,
have run the gauntlet of the last 20 years of learning how to integrate these
mm,
indigenous perceptions into living my life so that I actually perceive the world through those
mm,
concepts. They're no longer concepts for me because I've lived enough life.
mm.
Yeah, to
Oh,
I that's my life. That's why I can write this book because I know exactly what Ethan had to go through because
yeah,
I
and
went through it.
we can all relate to an Ethan, like, and at when you're reading along, you will definitely have alignment in the struggle to integrate because it is a long well, it doesn't have to be long, you can shortcut it and fast track it. This
Yeah.
book helps with that. But yeah,
Mm,
it's a really nice soft way to receive those big, sometimes they feel very unrelatable, but through
mm.
Ethan's eyes it becomes relatable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So you know, like we don't have no one has the 20 years because we're in the moment now. So the way that I see life at the moment is that now we are being presented with the choice point, right? From now and forwards. It just gets more and more pertinent that you make your choice. You're either living with a clear expectation of life. You're not living via ideology. So we've
Mm-hmm.
just stepped out of the Piscean age, which essentially is to live via an ideology. It's live by belief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now we're stepping into the Aquarian age, which I had no real true concept of that before I was writing this book. I mean, I'm told what to do and I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more a spiritual secretary than I am anything else. I've just learned to be who I'm actually designed to be and not be anything else. That's what I've done. And that's the Indigenous way is to discover who you actually are rather
Mm-hmm.
than trying to spend all this time in your life being something else. So
Mm-hmm.
the modern world and the Piscean age has taught us to grow up and be something.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we need to move back into a more indigenous understanding that we grow up to discover and be who we are, be your am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I have just spent 20 years discovering my am and learning how to be my am. And the more you be your am, the more of the quality of your am you discover, and then you be that, and then it just keeps going.
Yeah,
So,
it's alignment essentially is what you're looking
yeah.
for. You're looking for that congruency with your values, what you believe in and what you
Yes,
actually
no,
do.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the wrong language though. You just gotta be, it's really hard to get onto the correct language because you don't want to believe in anything anymore. You
Mm.
want to discover, you want to know your
Mm.
am. You want to know your internal am, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The am of your soul. That is who you are. Yes.
Yeah.
And when you live by a belief, that belief can be your am, can also not be your am.
Yeah.
But how are you going to figure it out? Yes. So we need the alignment, but the alignment is to the I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the way that you get to that knowing, which is a progressive
Mm-hmm.
growth of that knowing, is to reconcile and do this kind of stock taking um, action of if you walk a belief into the world, you will discover whether it's in alignment with your I am or it's a belief that's come from outside of you that you're adhering
Mm-hmm.
to. And so
This
this
is
is kind of the process. And I took a long time because you can't just, okay, that's what I'm going to do. There's a whole lot of stuff that you have to achieve prior to that before
Mhm.
you start doing this reconciling process.
Yeah, it's a
That's why people
discernment.
don't jump into it because you got to learn to feel your feelings. You've got to understand what your nervous system is doing, and you've got to understand the system of your mind. You've got to understand what forgiveness actually is, and that it's a tool for you to use in this method. And so
Mm-hmm.
this is what everything that I'm producing and talking about is all to help people do the preparation that I've had to go through to get
Mm.
myself to the point where I can do the reconciling and I can every day refine the difference between the being and the amming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the
Mhm.
being is the believing. And so every belief, which is also an expectation, it's also an assumption, it's also all of these words for the same thing. It's an external idea that you have
Yeah.
become emotionally attached to for some reason, many
Mhm.
reasons why you can get emotionally attached to an idea. And
Mhm.
this is the human system. And if we learn what the system is, we can work inside the system rather than have something outside of us control us because we're in the system. You can't step away from the system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in it. This is our souls know that this is a
Yeah.
system that we've stepped into. So we need to understand it
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
intimately
Yeah.
and be part of the using of it. And so that's
Yeah.
everything that I'm creating is for that. And Malena Valley, well, the first book in a series is to help people with all of those background understandings and skills so
Yeah.
that when you come to use perhaps the earth method, which is what I teach,
Mhm.
you have the understanding of what truth really is and
Mm.
the
Mhm.
difference between man truth and cosmic truth. You understand through concept um, how, the most important aspects of the system and what things to think about and to action more urgently rather than, everything's important, but there's some things that are really urgent to get
Mm.
really on point and to focus on that in your life. The understanding of why family is so important, why we can't just go it alone, why we can't
Yeah.
exist outside of community. Sure, you can exist, but can you be effective using this system that our souls know we come into, this human system? Can you
Mhm.
actually be effective without community? It seems not. We are very
Mm.
vulnerable without community. However, if we step into community that doesn't have the same alignment, so I wouldn't use values because values are man-made,
Okay.
accepted by man. So I would use alignment to cosmic unity.
Well, you
Yeah.
would know what that alignment is with feeling when you start feeling your feelings. You know when you're on the line, when you're off the line, and I
Yes.
guess
Yeah.
that's what they call a value system. But really, it's
That's
who
not
you
values
are. It's the I am.
because if I can have different values to what you can have, and we can have an argument about what's right value, what's not right
That's
value, then
value.
it's
Yeah.
human world. It's the human world.
Yeah.
So what's on the line is on the line for everyone.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
The way you know if it's on the line is if it's always on the line. It's true because it's always true for
Well,
everyone, everywhere, all the time. That's
essentially,
cosmic truth.
yeah. Well, a value is just what you find important to yourself. So they
Right,
should be already lived. So it shouldn't be in your
right.
head already. It should be already a knowing. Yeah.
Yes, but people don't understand that language. They don't classify their values.
Mm.
People will live outside their values.
Yeah, totally. All the
Yeah,
time.
because they're living ideologically, which is a Piscean way to live.
Yes.
Which is not wrong or right. It was completely appropriate until about a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we
Mm-hmm.
have to appreciate. We are in the changing time. We are
Yeah.
all struggling to come out of living an ideological life into
Yeah.
living an embodied life.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel.
And
Mhm.
that is hard for humans. Why? Because we love routine. We want a bit of novelty, not too much.
And just the hypocrisy is so rampant all the time now that people are just so used to it that they don't
Oh, I
know what
know.
it
Yeah.
what it
It's all very confused. And so the way that we come back to it
Mm.
is basically you can say, can I have an argument with someone about this? And if you can argue about it, if you can split hairs, if you can be on one side or the other side, it's not cosmic truth.
Yeah.
Cosmic truth is unity consciousness, which means there are no sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So the way
interesting.
that I see it is Piscean consciousness is like linear, and
Mm-hmm.
on one
Mm-hmm.
end you've got white, and on the other
Mm-hmm.
end you've got black. And it's a scale that are defined levels of shade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's very Piscean. Now, Aquarian, you just push it all in like a squeeze box, and it's all in one, like this, and it's just shade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to refer to shade number 751, you open it up and you have a look. You go, ah, yes, I know what you're talking about. And then you close it back up. And you perceive it as one unified thing we're calling shade. We know it has parts in the middle. We know it
Yeah.
has division.
It's made up.
If we want the division, we can open it up and have a look. But
Well,
our general perspective or perception is one thing.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
and it's individual things making up a whole. Like
Right,
it's
that's exactly right. So we're moving into, yes, we understand it has an infinite number of division inside of it, but we
Mhm.
also understand that it's important to see the whole
Yeah,
first. We need to give a lot of weight now, more
the
weight than we
community,
used to
the
the whole.
collective. Yeah, that's very
Exactly.
good words. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
so
it's good word.
this Malena Valley is a world. It's a world that you can step into, and it's it's not fact. It's fiction. And in
Mm,
fiction, what I'm able to create is something that no longer exists.
mm,
And maybe it didn't exist in this pure, beautiful, conceptually aligned manner. Yeah.
mm,
So this is I'm essentially being asked by doing this project of writing these novels is to create a new benchmark.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
That people can aim towards. If you don't know what the goalposts look like, you're never going to find them when you're looking around for them. Can you imagine playing football and not knowing where the goalposts is? You know, you
mm-hmm.
see one over there and you see one over there, and that one might look like one too, and but I don't know where to take the ball to. I'm just running around in circles, and that's what people are doing currently because
With
they
that
don't know
spiritual.
how to identify the goalposts for the Aquarian age.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes. That is spiritual
this is
literacy.
what I'm being asked to do, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with Malena Valley, is to create a way for people to be able to recognize the goalposts when they're presented with goalposts to take the ball to and kick a goal, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
without me teaching it to one person to another person,
Yeah,
right?
you can
So,
scale it.
right, so I can scale it. Most people say you can scale it so you can sell a lot of books. And so I don't
Oh
care about
no,
that.
no, it
I
touches
want I
people.
want so many people to be
Yeah.
able to be taught by me if they want to be taught by me, but there's only one me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I've only got like, I don't know, how I'm 53, 40 years. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden I'm well, maybe technology will be great and it'll keep me going for another 80 years or something like that. Eventually, this physical form
Mm-hmm.
stops having the capacity to keep repairing itself, which means I can't keep going longer than
Yeah.
that physical time. Then I have to go out and come back in again, right? As a
Mm-hmm.
different person, maybe recognized, maybe not recognized, but the
Mm-hmm.
book can stay.
It's
The book
legacy. Yeah.
and a person, yes, and a person can come back to that chapter and read it from a different place in their journey and understand it at a deeper level. You
Yeah.
know, when you
Totally.
read a book when you're at school and you understand this much, you read it again 10 years later, you understand so much more because you've
Happens
lived. you've lived so much more.
Yeah, it happens with movies as well. It's like, oh, that's what they were
Now I
meaning.
get that. That's right. So we're always growing in emotional maturity, and we need to start understanding that it's not about collecting information. It's about
Mhm.
understanding just enough to be able to upskill yourself. And like we were talking this morning about uh, a person who said, I don't know, 10 years ago, that they're
Mhm.
seeking the book that has all the answers to the meaning of life. Yeah.
Mhm.
And um and then we really discovered that we are the book.
Yeah, we're
You
living
know,
it now.
we are the book, and we are informed um by the greater teacher. But to get that information to come through to you, you have to actually take the first little bit and walk it into knowing. And once you've done that, then you say, okay, I with this new level of knowing,
Hmm. Hmm.
I want the next little bit. And then it will come, and you walk that into knowing. So
Hmm.
the Piscean age has been a collection of information and behavioral instructions,
Yeah.
essentially. It's ideological living, which is
Hmm.
separating you from your somatic understanding of life. You don't need your body to tell you how to live or how to guide you in choices if you have an ideology.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so this is a really, really hard place for humanity to be in. And those that keep living from an ideology and ignoring the
Mm.
actual frequential changes that are occurring
Yeah.
are going to lose big time. And they're going to lose in ways that they don't want to lose. So if
Mhm.
you can't understand that the whole entire cosmic influence is shifting, and we have a financial crisis, your
Yeah.
actions are going to follow your ideology of what has been created for you in the Piscean era, in the wrong era. You're not going to
Correct.
adapt,
And
right?
this
You're
is
not
all going
going
to
to.
be like, oh, the government will look after me. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah. Does anyone remember what happened in
It
2020?
encouraged. Yeah, I
The government
know.
didn't look after us at all. The government just freaked out and expected us to be obedient and don't ask for any further information because we don't know because we haven't lived this before. So this is an
Mm.
example of
Yeah,
Piscean living in an Aquarian age. We
it doesn't
needed,
matter.
we need, why does my sleep keep going up?
I
We
saw that too.
needed,
Yeah.
it just keeps going up and staying there.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe it's
Animated.
yeah. So um yeah, so we have lots of examples in the world of, and maybe we'll end up talking about this on a podcast, Sunday chats or something, that we really have to start looking for how we have already lived examples. Maybe you want to write this one down.
Oh,
We've already lived examples um, of the confusion between
mhm.
trying to, having a new context put upon us that we don't have history of, and
Yeah.
we don't have prior
Got it.
instructions that we can apply. And,
Yeah.
this reminds me of how much rehearsing we've come to know existed on the global stage. Um, and, that they had already created the solutions, and then they created the problem to implement the solutions. And the way that I see that from my perception of life is that COVID time, 2020, etc., where they had all these different aspects of obedience needing to be done by humanity, was a way of creating a pattern. So they're
Mm.
making history so that when it comes time to make your choice, you have a history of what we have done, which is
Yes.
what Piscean thinking does. Ideological living is based on history and action, and history and action and history. You're creating a pattern, and this is how the cosmic energy of life um, actually exists. So the reason why trees manifest as trees all the time is because they've been manifesting as trees all the time. And
Yeah.
so, how do you bring about a new human um, action, like
Mhm.
global action, everyone's doing the same thing, is you start bringing about events and force people to take that action. Next time they won't have to force you. The next time that you'll be asking to do it.
Mm.
Like I remember being in the park, being in a conversation where I told my aunt on my dad's side, my aunt on my mum's side, she actually died from the same symptoms that I suffered from. I'm very, very blessed that my body
Um,
didn't end up in that result. She had massively high blood pressure after she had a vaccination shot. Um,
um,
and and they labeled that she died from having a stroke from high blood pressure. And I'm just lucky that I didn't die. I had very, very high blood pressure, and I went to the hospital and they were very inept at dealing with it. But essentially, I recovered while taking a whole lot of blood pressure medication to keep me alive, not having a stroke, while my body cleared everything from the vaccination. So it was a high toxicity event that
yeah.
my body was very sensitive to. And my aunt on my mum's side was very sensitive to it as well, same symptoms.
Mm.
On my dad's side, however, maybe that's why my body
Mm.
could handle it, because on the other side they're all fully heavily vaccinated and really really like we're way out of COVID time and there's an idea about some virus and I'm in the
They'll go
park
get
and
it.
yeah, we don't have a vaccine for it. And I'm like,
Uh,
so this is an example
yeah.
of creating a pattern. And there are many, many humans that
Mm.
really lock into patterns.
Mm.
And if they
Mm-hmm.
create patterns that will deplete the population, which
Yeah.
COVID kind of did, because it's a toxin. Everybody's
Yeah.
being toxified, and the body gets more toxified and it can't cope, it can't think, it's got this, it's got that.
The
And the
full.
population goes down, right?
Yeah.
And people lose their lives because they were obedient to an instruction. This is ideological living. And so the
Yeah.
way that you don't be obedient to an instruction, that you have no idea who planted that instruction into the history of mind.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Mm.
the COVID stuff, we can see how they planted that instruction. And some people in society are now growing the fruit from the trees of that instruction, and others aren't.
Yeah.
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 But if you keep having events like that, then more and more people in society
Yeah.
are going to be obedient to those instructions because you're creating a pattern. However,
Sure.
we now
And
have
it's,
a cosmically determined change of environment. Like, the woo-woo stuff you can't see that's actually supporting us. We adapted into the Piscean and we're going to adapt out of the Piscean. And the
mm.
more aware you are that these cosmic environments come and they go and they influence every living being in their atmosphere, in their environment, right? So the frequencies we have to adapt to the new frequencies and they're shifting right now. I mean, everything's changing, but we can't
Yeah.
see it. And so
Yeah.
often we
Oh,
don't know what it is until we've seen it, and often we don't know what it is. We don't know that it exists until we see it, and we can't see it unless we know what it is, which
but
is
I
really
think
weird,
of
right?
people, a lot of people are feeling it. Something's coming. We
Yes,
all
you're feeling something. So if you're living ideologically,
mm,
when you're exhausted because the frequencies are shifting and you have to just go lie down for a bit
mm,
because it's exhausting for your body and you don't know why, but you're just going to have a nap. If you're living ideologically, you're going to be saying, why am I tired? Oh my gosh, I'm tired every day and I don't know what's going on with me. I have to go to the
who does a
doctor.
doctor? Yeah. I thought the same thing. Exactly. Yeah.
And that is just a pattern. It's a
Yeah.
pattern
Yeah.
that's been created. Like in my lifetime, it's been created. I'm born in 1972. In
Mm.
1972, we did not have an addiction to going to the doctor because something was a little off kilter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
2026, we do.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
very obvious. Yeah.
Why? Because the patterns have built, right? It's not anyone's fault. It's just the way of how the Piscean age
Mm.
encourages us to live ideologically, and so we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we were to look at the same, like what's the new pattern that's coming up now if we're going to be more embodied? So if we're moving from the ideological to the embodiment, the knowing,
Mm.
the pattern is test it in your own life. Would that be
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, you have to do it the long, slow way.
Yeah.
Essentially, what I've done is to become aware of a pattern. So I'm really good at pattern recognition, really
Yeah.
good at it,
Yeah.
which is an advantage to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I watch for patterns in my behavior and other people's behavior, just in behavior. I notice what humans do, and then I ask myself, why? Why do they do what they do? And I watch this one, and I watch this one, and I watch this one, and I watch that one, and this age, that age, this generation, that generation, male, female,
Yeah.
androgynous. I just, I'm just pulling all the information in, bringing the data in, and leaving it in there. And then
Yeah.
one day, because I'm just curious about
Yeah.
everything, but I've learned to not be judgmental. So
Yeah.
curiosity without judgment leaves you open for the truth. But if you have judgment, you have curiosity, and then you're quick to judge the reason why without having all the information, you won't get to the truth. You'll get to an ideology. Yeah? You get to an
Okay.
ideology. So I don't know, I'm just wired to figure out why this, why that, why is that happening this way? Why does that happen that way? And so I'm not really ideologically driven. Some ideologies I like because they're very, very close to what
Mm.
feels very aligned to me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then I'm part of organizations where I am only aligned to half their ideology and not the
Yeah.
other half.
Yes. Yes.
Because I've seen that in certain environments, the ideology has driven the behavior, and it doesn't feel right, doesn't feel aligned behavior.
Yeah.
But this ideology works perfectly fine all the time. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
current, right? It's current in my somatic experience of the
Mm.
actions that come from that ideology is still current. It's not disruptive to my I am feeling of self.
Yeah.
Whereas the other that
Mm.
I'm not quite always aligned with. So I'm not going to support that ideology because if you live ideologically, you don't have any flexibility,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
my ideology, if I'm going to have one, is that I live my life on the line of truth, and I've been doing it for 18 years. I made a commitment to do it. There's cosmic
Mm.
love and cosmic truth, and it's combined as one thing. And
Mm.
that space, it's almost like it's up and down, right? So I have stability from the bottom and protection from the top. It's the best place to be.
The chakra system
You
as
don't
well.
need a holiday from life when everything is alignment with your I am. Like, you
Yeah.
don't need a holiday from life. The only
Mm.
time I want to have a holiday from life is when I'm
Mm.
pulled off the line and I can't, like, something is just keeps aggravating me by
Mm.
pulling me off the line, and I'm trying
Mm.
to get back on the line. Sometimes I just have to go, oh, well, I'm meant to be over there. I'll just put my mind back over here. Right?
Mm.
Physically, I have to be over here. I don't want to be over here, but the context is making me. Maybe
Yeah.
that's for purpose. I'm learning something, and I'm learning at some point I'll get back
But
over here.
I'll come back as
But I
quickly as I
don't I
can.
don't hammer myself like, oh, this is really hard. Because that's not a nice state to be in either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I like these comparisons, like with the Piscean, because then people can really see that in their own lives. And of course, Malena
Mm.
Valley is like a really great tool to really
Yeah.
feel it because you can
Yeah.
see the interactions, you can see how that Indigenous culture was built on
Mm.
these principles. Yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose getting back to Malena Valley, because everyone is going to have this adaptation context problem. And Malena
Mm,
Valley is sort of the um, best benchmark that I can create in
mm,
fiction
mm.
based on my own experience. So, did I go and live in a valley? I did. I went and lived in a
Yeah,
valley.
yeah,
It was in Hawaii. Yes, it was. Did I go on retreat? Yes, I did. Um, was it in a group of 10 where everyone was getting along really well, and then the storyline of Malena Valley. No. No, the storyline of Malena Valley is really beautiful. Everything works in really seamlessly. It's a book that's designed to teach the principles that I learned, but I
Mm,
learned it in a really harsh way. I learned it in a really short period of time with the teacher.
mm,
I lived in the valley without electricity every day with a hard-nosed Hawaiian teacher, which is not
mm.
presented in Malena Valley. Malena
Yeah.
Valley is like set in 2010, and the retreat. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, I did go on a retreat in 2010, but that's not where I learned everything. So I
Yeah.
met the teacher in Melbourne. I went on retreat in Hawaii, but we didn't stay in the valley. We stayed
Mm.
up a bit more like Malena Valley. We stayed in nice rooms, and we visited the valley. And but then I went back 3 months. I went back and spent a whole 3 months living
Yeah.
as close as we could to the original way of living. So it was
Okay.
hard, it was hot, it was wet, it was no electricity, it was sometimes monotonous, listening to all the stories all the time and trying to work out how they all work in together. If
Mhm.
I had lived Malena Valley, that would have been a
Mm.
blessing, but I don't think I would have learned everything in the way that I learned it. So I
Yeah.
lived in the valley that I needed to live in.
Yeah.
And not everyone in the modern world needs, like, if I wrote the true story of my
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
no one would want to live that. No,
Yeah.
everyone was, oh, that's disgusting. They'd have opinions about it.
Mm.
There's so many things to have opinions about. So I wrote something that would be effective in giving people role models that they want to attach to in terms of their healing, in if they want to swap out their modern foundation, their belief driven foundation, and bring it into a
Mm.
base, walking the beliefs that you think are good into knowing to discover whether they are good for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I've tried to create a fictitious environment that people can suspend their disbelief about it being fictitious and find in their role models. Like, oh, I remember when you were feeding back when you were reading it, you said, oh,
Mm.
um, I'm really identifying with Ethan. And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, Lani's really cool. Oh,
Mm.
wow, wouldn't it be great to be in a relationship like with
Yeah.
Mele and Ethan? That's just awesome, right? So
Yeah.
there are
Mm.
different aspects through different character relationships and conversations and stories. And then the other day I asked you, who would you
Mm.
like to be?
Yeah.
And you said, I reckon I want to be new. I want to be a new. Little old woman who's lived through it all. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. It's really beautiful that you feel the character. And that's the
Yeah.
point. Is
Yeah.
information has because of the Piscean age of everything being ideologically driven, information has been the thing to grab, to have is information. And that's not true of the Aquarian age. We have all the information. We have AI. AI is the best librarian. All the
Yeah.
books, everything is going to be contained by AI. No one is going to, when we get to the end point, copyright is just going to be a complete farce
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the holding of the information is going to
Yeah.
belong to everyone anyway.
Yeah.
So, so we're in the transition time where we're coming out of information being valuable,
Mm.
information being not valuable, just belongs to everyone, just like the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and what will become valuable is what you creatively do
Yes. Creativity. Exactly.
with all the information and
Mm.
the lived understanding and the community. And it's about living in a creative environment. And to get to that point, we have to get rid of all the beliefs and the
Mm.
perceptions and the opinions and the assumptions and the expectations. And we have to do that kind of manually.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so why
Yes.
would you go to all that effort if you don't have even one sense of what it might feel like in life,
Oh,
having done it. So Malena Valley is that. It's
gives you
trying
the,
to give you back a
well,
sense of potential if you put in all this work to deconstruct everything that
yeah.
you adapted to in the Piscean era, all the beliefs and the like
Mm,
really, really wanting to have information and the ownership and all this stuff, that has to be deconstructed to reconstruct into a really peaceful, community, balanced,
mm.
loving, truthful
It's like
environment.
by the end of the book, if you're not wanting that, then go back to the start and remember how Ethan felt at the start. Do you want that?
Mm,
That's the
yeah.
that's the
So
option.
yeah, if you identify with Ethan at the beginning of the book, oh wow, that's just like me.
Yeah,
And
which she
you
will
don't identify with Ethan at the end
at
of
the
the book
end.
because that's
Yeah,
not you, then you understand that he has gone through a process and you have been like a fly on the wall watching him go through this process, but you don't identify with how he is now because you haven't taken yourself through the process. And so if you
yeah.
want if you want to live as he lives, he's
Mm,
come into a more peaceful, balanced, honest, truthful, communal,
hmm
everyone's the same value, different jobs, everyone's collaborating.
hmm
If you want for that, but it doesn't exist outside of you, then you have
mm.
to understand it doesn't exist inside of you either.
You have to create it. You have
You
to
have to
do
create
the
it from
knowing.
inside of you
Yeah,
first. You are not going
and
to be
doing it.
allowed, like millennial force, right?
Yeah. I was
We
gonna
have
say
our
we're an
value.
example. Yeah.
We're an example. Why are we an example? Because I was the example on my own, living on that line of truth. Yeah. And
Ripple.
now you have come in to apprentice with me.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew this would happen. I had no idea when.
Yeah.
The timing of things was really, really cosmically aligned because you
Perfect.
turned up at
Yeah.
the same time that I got rid of the last belief that was making me stuck. And
Yeah.
so everything has started to flow. Everything
hmm
that I've known is going to come is coming.
Yeah.
And so we are the beginnings of the community. Yeah. And
Yeah.
because we're creating community in a new era. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a new foundation that's different from the ideologically living Piscean era. And the Aquarian era is to adapt to this flat hierarchy.
Yeah.
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 So
Exactly.
because we are running a business with products and services, and that's got to be enough
Mm.
to keep us afloat in the daily workings of things so that we can
hmm
remain in the center of this wheel.
Yeah.
Because if we're not at the center, the community doesn't get to grow from it. So you're apprenticing with me, which makes the inner
Mm.
circle a little bigger. Other people will come along and they will grow it. People
Mm.
will read the novel, people will read the textbooks, people will do the coursework and build community. And we're creating all these online features to be able to help people sit themselves around the circle.
Mm-hmm.
There's no memberships. People don't have to stay because they spent a year's worth of money. You just
Yeah.
access the community as you want to access the community, and you be there because you want to be there,
Yeah.
because it's giving you what you need. And
There's no
and
lock-in
there's
things.
no like what for, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, how do we market this product? The product will sell itself because it's how life is going to be. So if you're
Yeah.
ready to step into how life can be already, you can
Mm.
create it from within now, and you
hmm
can be influential in how it is created out in the world because what's inside will come outside because creation comes through humans, right? Whether
Yeah.
you want it to or not. Whatever
Yeah.
the life force creation is filtering through the human will come
Mhm.
out into the world. And societies are just massive groups of people who are having this creation come through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is this is what we're placing ourselves in the middle of the circle only because I'm the one, and then you're the next one, and then there's another one, and it has to be a flat hierarchy. There's no vertical hierarchy.
Yeah.
Everyone who is in the community is in the community, and you don't have to be buying things to be in the community, but you can if you want. And
Yeah.
the whole point is that the way that Xanthia and I live our lives and create things is
Mm,
it fits in with the community. The community is not
yeah.
outside of our living, it grows from our living. And so it is like creating a
Mm,
valley community.
yeah.
We're just
Totally.
the beginnings, we're planting the seeds and we're tending to it and you know, we're talking about it and we're not trying to sell it to you. We're just trying to give it to you.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah. For the
again,
life.
it's
Yeah.
difficult for people because they're used
Yeah.
to having things sold to them, right? So it's
Yes.
just that's why we're doing all this live stuff. So this is how we productively but yet unproductively work
Yeah.
because we're still trying to start editing this book and we keep talking about stuff. So
Yeah.
let's let's work out how we're going to move forward in this process.
Well, I
How?
think this is a great overview on like the spiritual literacy aspect of this. It is a
Oh
textbook,
yeah,
even though it is fictional.
yeah.
We're just trying to show you real life. This is embodying what the book's about. We live this
Mm.
as much as, Joanna's more like on that line, but I'm
So far,
learning and can I'm
yeah,
knowing it through my own life. So reading this
yeah.
book has really helped to recognize where you've got your teachings and where your
Mm.
inspirations come from. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
really
But I
powerful.
can't, but I only teach from what I've lived,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So that's why this book is fiction, because I didn't
yes,
live it.
yeah,
But what I understand from what I've lived is in it. Yeah. So there's
yes,
a little bit of me in every character.
yes,
So
yes.
along my journey, I was Ethan, I was Lani, I was
Mm-hmm,
Melee.
mm-hmm.
I've been every character. I'm even the teacher now.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah,
I'm even Kumu Kekoa, right? In essence, I am inside every character, but I can't show you all of those parts of me and how they were and how they are in time because we're stuck in the fourth dimension where that's in the history and that's in the future, and here we are now. But I can
yeah,
use fiction through
mm,
characters to show you what I know and how
correct.
I've known it through living. Yeah. And so this is just one way that I've been guided to help people come into the knowing of themselves. So I'm never ever going to tell you. Do I ever tell you, Xanthia, as my student, that you have to be a certain way?
No, you don't. You do, give me clear goalposts of where I, try to believe in yourself and get to
Mm.
these places that you know that I can achieve. And it's never in a way that is do that or it's not going to work or there's going
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
some kind of
So tell
conflict.
tell the story of the gate key. So I'm in
Oh,
Israel. I'm in Israel. It's the 24th of July and I got here 24th of May. So I've been here 2 months. Xanthia
mhm.
had to move into my apartment really, really quickly to look after my dog and my
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Um,
And I was moving in anyway, so it
and
wasn't
she,
a,
yes, but it happened very quickly because I had to
yeah,
go very quickly.
yeah,
But
literally.
everything was organized
Yeah.
cosmically aligned for us,
It
which is
worked out.
great for.
Yeah.
Even to the point that I'm using her suitcase.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's using my car and
Yeah.
she's looking after my dog and my house. And yes, things have broken and we've worked out how to get them fixed from the
Mm-hmm.
other side of the world, etc., etc. So,
Yes. One of the
so
things was,
tell the gate key story.
yeah, so the gate key wasn't working very well. So very
This is the electric
like the
button
gate.
press
So I
thing. Yeah.
had to go get a new one, but I had to program it. And what's required is to, get a screwdriver, open up the motor, find these like electrical board and get very in, like a
A bit
tradesman
techo.
would. A bit
Yeah. Yeah.
technical. And look, that's not my favorite thing. I grew up with four girls, like like single mom. Like I wasn't. We didn't have a lot of that masculine
Mm-hmm.
knowledge being passed down. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put it off. I just found the right time, and then I did some research, and then I really, watched some videos, got the instructions, and just went for it. Got the right tools, and was so happy when it worked because it saved me $200. Didn't have to do a call out to a tradesman, and also I Joanna said that she had done it. You could do it. Just give it a go. And so when I just did that and it worked, it was really affirming, a really great feeling because, yeah, it's like you kicked the goal. You got it through the post. You got it through that goal post, and it's
Yeah.
like tick. Now that belief is affirmed, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So the belief you had was you're not going to be able to do it in
This
the
is
beginning.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is too
This,
hard. I might
yeah.
break something maybe.
Yeah. I'll get
So
electrocuted.
So yeah, maybe we could get a tradesperson to come and do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm gonna email the owners corporation and find out if
Mm.
they have a way to do it. But be careful because, someone from my family might turn up and do it, and you might not want that association. Anyway, so I sent the email and I got the actual company that they would buy the gate keys from, and they forwarded an email saying how much it costs to have them come out and program it,
Mm-hmm.
because these particular gate keys are not easily programmed. They have to be done at the actual controller box, which is
Mm-hmm.
why they don't like coming out to do that. So there's a minimum call out fee and it takes them 2 seconds to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I brought that information back to Xanthia and I said, well, it's going to cost $180 Australian plus GST, so like $200 Australian, which is quite a lot of money. That's a really good week's worth of food, like good food.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Mm-hmm.
it's a big shop at the supermarket worth of getting the gate key programmed.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, and Xanthia in the meantime had gone and got some screwdrivers from one of our neighbors, so she had the
Yeah.
tools too. And essentially, the belief that she had, right, ideologically driven life, was driving her towards paying money to do something
Mm-hmm.
that maybe she could try. Yeah, she didn't even really want to try it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you've got the screwdrivers, and I think that's not too hard to open the box because I've done it once before. It's a long time ago, but I've done
Yeah.
it.
It's
And
doable.
you've got the instructions that came with the remote, which the trades guy probably looks at because he doesn't do it very often. So you've got the screwdriver, you've got the remote. I mean, you've got the instructions, you've got the new remote, and it's going to tell you, because I remember, it's going to tell you to press a button inside the controller and the
Yeah.
button that you want to use for the gate and hold it down for a certain number of seconds and then let
Mhm.
go. We can put the box back together and press the gate. It'll work
Yeah.
because that's what I did. So here I am explaining to you it's possible. I
Yeah.
am telling you that you can believe, I'm giving you permission to believe that it's possible to have success. Whereas the
Mm-hmm.
belief that you had before was telling you, oh, you're going to try and you're going to make a big mess because you don't know how to do this and you've never done it before and you don't want to be responsible for creating a mess and blah, 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 blah. So your
Mm-hmm.
original ideology, personal ideology, that's what a belief is, was
Mm-hmm.
leading you towards getting someone else to do it.
Mm.
And
Then it's done.
that's a good couple of hours of your life swapping that money to give the other person. And I'm giving you a different belief.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
padding it with you can ride on my belief in you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna love you anyway, even if you press the wrong effing button.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know it's really low risk. I know
Mm-hmm.
that you can use a screwdriver. I know that you can read
Mm-hmm.
instructions. I know that you have fingers to press the buttons. So I know, pretty much I know from my own having lived it
Mm-hmm.
experience, I know. I don't believe you can do it. I know you can do it. So I
Yeah.
bring that knowing, I give you that knowing.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
feels like I'm believing in you,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm basing that believing in you on my knowing.
On the process. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
having lived it, because I've walked my own belief in myself into knowing, and now I
Mm-hmm.
can share that with you and oppose your original belief,
Yeah.
right? I'm opposing, I'm standing up to your
Mm.
defeatist belief and saying, we're going to do it this way. We're going to try it this way. Come on, come with me. Try it this way.
Yeah.
So I'm on
Yeah.
the other side of the world watching a
Mhm.
video of Xanthi going, "Oh, it's so exciting. Look, I did it." And she's pressing the button and the gate's opening. And I'm like, "Okay, great, because now this defeatist ideology, this personal ideology that you had
Yeah.
has been proven wrong yet
Mm-hmm.
again." Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
eventually my knowing, which is cosmically aligned, that
Mm-hmm.
if you have all the resources, you can at least try to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the tradesperson was a 14-year-old who effed it up all the time, once upon a time too,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You don't come born a tradesperson knowing how to read instructions. I mean, seriously, have you ever lived with a man? Do they use instructions? No, they don't. They have to learn the process.
Just like us,
Just
exactly.
like everybody else, right? So that's how I perceive the world, because I was brought up in a very different way, and I've gone through my paces of having to break these beliefs because I've lived on my own a lot. So I shared
Mhm.
my knowing with you from across the world, and you have success. And here's another example where you have walked a new belief into knowing.
Yes,
So you're
exactly.
building a new belief, and that old belief is like, you've got less power now, hasn't it? It's not going to
Yeah.
be used as often now. That circuit is going to go away. There's no power given to that circuit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so
Totally.
this is how I teach. I teach
Hmm.
you to walk new beliefs into knowing, beliefs
Yeah.
that I have already walked into knowing. So they're not really beliefs for me. They
Mm-hmm.
start off as beliefs, and you have to live the belief and come to
Yeah.
an understanding that you know that about yourself. And this is
Exactly.
the era that we're moving into. And yes, it feels like the long road. It really
Mm-hmm.
does. But you get to a state of peace
Mm-hmm.
because the beliefs, the personal ideologies are very noisy. They're very like loud children in an unruly classroom. That's what they're like.
Mm-hmm.
And living under your experiential built up knowing is like walking into the library where
There's
no
so
one's allowed
much
to talk.
peace. It's so true. Yeah. It's so much
Mm.
more peaceful. It's very
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
right.
it's just automatically a I've got this. I've got faith in what I'm here to do and yourself. You just
Yeah.
believe in.
And so it makes me understand that faith, what people call faith, it's very
Mm,
hard to have if you don't have this understanding that you need to walk
mm.
your beliefs into knowing, because
Yeah.
the less chatty, annoying teenage belief things in your head, this monkey mind, the more peace you have. And the peace is that confidence in the I am self, because you're not opposed all the time. So if we understand the reason why faith is hard is because we have all of these beliefs yelling at us, no, do
Mm,
this. No, do that. Don't trust that. No certainty in that. You're going to fail. No, no, no. And it's really noisy. It's so noisy. It's like because I'm a
mm.
teacher, I've been around a lot of children in my life, and the older I get, the more I like being a librarian.
Yeah.
It's too noisy, just so
Yeah.
noisy. Even adults are noisy because
Well, it's chaotic.
I'm picking up chaotic mind frequency as
Yeah.
well. Right? And I
Yeah.
never realized that that's what I'm picking up. I can hear it through my ears, but I'm going to hear it in my head too, like in my body. It's like I'm swimming in this chaotic stream. It's like I'm in the rapids all the time. And all I want to do is go and be on my own because it's really peaceful. It's like a library. I'm like a
Yeah.
library environment now. And
Yeah.
and people out there, like in the supermarket, when they're stressed about things running out and things not being on the shelves, they're like putting, I don't know, 100 kids in a very rural kind of shed with lots of basketballs or something. Like it's just banging and crashing and yelling and screaming and squealing and farting and all this noises, chaotic. There's no organization of thought or action.
Mm-hmm.
That's life now out there. And we
Yeah,
all want this library feeling in our bodies and our
of
minds. That's
course.
what we want. We want the peace.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and the way that you get the peace is not to search for peace. You
Yeah.
you are peace. Just
Yeah.
get rid of all those annoying teenage kids in the stadium. Do you know how nice it feels? Because I've actually had this experience where I had like 19, no, I had 19, 17 9-year-olds to look after through
Oh.
summer. And because it was such a big group, it was at a youth group camp. My group used to get sent down into the stadium because it's a big space. Except the
Mm-hmm.
acoustics were horrible. It was a big metal shed with a concrete floor and lots of like sport equipment in there that the kids would play with when you're all coming in there. And it was
Mm.
so noisy, so noisy. And I had the opportunity, because some of them didn't want to come inside one day, to let them just stay outside, half the group, and they were playing football on the oval and they wouldn't
Oh,
come
yeah.
in. So I'm like, oh, no problem. I shut the door on them and left them out there because I couldn't be bothered with them anymore. And the ones who were inside, about half the group, I got them to sit down because they didn't know what was going on because the other half were outside. So I'm like, okay, sit down in a circle, we're going to play a game. And the
Mm.
game was you have to all be quiet at the same time for a timed 2 minutes. And if you break the quiet, we start again.
I've done this with babysitting.
Yeah, yeah,
When
it's
they're going to
great.
bed, I'm like, let's play the sleep game.
That's right. So they were all sitting, and it took them 10 minutes
Mm.
to get to the end of 2 minutes of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Mm-hmm.
all peaceful and calm by the end of that 2 minutes. They'd reconciled all their monkey mind stuff and, the whole group dynamics of, start again. And then, and then the naughty kid goes,
Yeah, yeah,
start it, and the whole group's getting like really upset and then
yeah.
they try together, they're going to try to get there. And 10
Mm.
minutes later, so 10 minutes, I go, well done, good job. It was the best 10 minutes of camp for me because it was so quiet in this big space. And then I said, okay, you can go outside and play if you like. And then I opened the door, and the other half of the group were lined up trying to work out what the heck is going on in there because the door was shut.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't tell them off. I just left them there. So I opened the door and it's not hello. I said, you guys can go outside. Come on in. We're going to play a game. You're going to sit on the floor in a circle. And the game is called Be Quiet for 2 minutes. And it
Yeah.
took them 10 minutes. It was exactly the same. So the state of their emotional development was pretty
Yeah.
much on par, the whole group. And
Mm.
so I know what it feels like to have peace out of
Mm.
chaos. Yeah,
Mm.
to turn chaos into peace. And it's so lovely.
So that's
So
working through
lovely.
each of those thoughts that come up and looking at them, spotlighting and going, is this true? Have I lived it? Have I not? Do I have evidence of it being true or not? And then you can, once you do, like the garage remote, it
Hmm.
starts becoming less and less and less, and then you have the peace.
Yeah, and then
Because
you have peace, right? So essentially your human mind has a lot of ideological belief structures patterned into it because you're at
yeah.
the end of a like 2,500 year cosmic age of believing.
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Ideologically, we had to adapt into so like 400 generations or whatever of living in adaptation to ideological life. We had no choice but to do it. And now we're going to have no choice but to live in peace. How do you get from chaos to peace? Yeah, you've got to play the 2 minute game. You've got to play it with yourself.
Yeah,
Because
that's
if you
true.
can, how long is it going to take you? See, this is something I wrote about. I think I've written this somewhere. How long is it going to take you to get to the 2 minutes of peace and quiet?
Mm.
Yeah, it's your choice, just like it was those 9-year-olds' choice. It
Mm.
took them 10 minutes. So 8 minutes of their beliefs and ideologies and everything running around, crashing into each other and making noise.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
compelling them to make noise because it was noisy inside. It's going to come outside. After 8 minutes, they had all reconciled
Mm.
how annoying it was to have all of this compelling them to stay doing this activity. They were
Yeah.
essentially quiet for 10 minutes. That's a long time for 9-year-olds. They should be asleep, right? If it was
Yeah.
dark, they would have fallen asleep. 8 minutes of interrupted peace, and
Yeah.
then that that was enough time for them to process, come on, guys, no one is going to break it this time. We're going to do it. And they did
Yeah.
it. They
Yeah.
had they had like a metaphys they weren't allowed to talk to each other. So they had a metaphysical agreement,
Yes.
and both groups, it proved it. I did the experiment with the same number of kids, one after the other, and
Yeah.
it happened the exact same timing in both groups, which tells me that the metaphysical agreement took 8 minutes to align
Mm.
itself. They were all on the same mind frequency after 8 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they had they had all taken on, so this is very Aquarian. They had all taken on personal responsibility
Mm.
for 2 minutes to quiet. Yeah,
Yeah.
quiet
Oh, yeah.
the personal identities, the belief structures,
Yeah.
quiet them for 2 minutes all together at the same time. And they didn't say a word to each other because for 8 minutes they were trying to be quiet, and then someone would make a start
Yeah.
again. That's all they heard. Little noise and me saying, start again, little noise,
Mm.
start again, little noise, oh, start again. Ha 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 ha. Okay, start again. And I'm just
Mm.
restarting my stopwatch every time.
Mm.
Make a noise. I just like a machine. I wasn't
Mm.
making value judgments on anyone. I'm just like, oh, we're playing a game. So
Yeah.
they had 8 minutes of toing and froing, trying. They were trying for 8 minutes, and they
Yeah.
succeeded for 2 minutes. But while they were trying, they were learning
Correct. Yeah.
and they were aligning. They were
Mm.
frequentially aligning on the same
Mm-hmm.
9-year-old level of agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were coming
Yeah.
closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to agreement. And that's pretty much what we're doing by I'm apprenticing you.
Yes.
Every day we connect every day, and every day you find a way, find an understanding. Okay, I'm not quite there. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not quite there. And then you move over a little bit. And then we have
Mm.
another conversation about something else. And I bring something up and you, oh, I'm not there. Maybe I'll move
Yes.
over here. Maybe over here, here, here. And
Yeah.
eventually it'll be like we're one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the
Because
same
we have
frequency.
metaphysically arranged. Well, I'm not shifting because I've moved over to where I want to be.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you're apprenticing. So you're trying to find your way to shift over
Mm.
frequently to
Mm.
where I am.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
when we kind of don't have to talk anymore,
Yeah. Yeah.
like we just don't
That's
have to talk
telepathy.
anymore. We might want to, but we don't have to. Then I
Yeah.
will know that you're just at the finessing stage and you can basically act as me.
Yeah. That's the,
Yeah.
yeah. That's,
Remember, I used to say to you in the beginning, I can't have you stand on stage with me if your ego is involved in it because I can't watch you every second. What happens if someone is trusting you because I put you there and because they trust me? And they
mm,
trust, and
mhm,
I say, you stand next to me, you can speak for me, and your ego's involved, and I don't know what your ego is going to say because I don't know what beliefs it's following.
mm, mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And I would keep bringing that up to you when your ego, started to
Yeah.
play into the situation. I would remind you, I can't have you next to me. We can't stand there together because
Mm,
of the infiltration of this ideological style of living.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
so that's what we've been doing. And we've only been doing it since, I don't know,
Like
the beginning of April-ish.
4 months. No,
It's not
three,
that
3 months.
long, not that long,
Three.
and you really have shifted so far towards
Mm,
where I am,
mm,
and and you haven't had me there for the last 2 months. You've had me here.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It still worked. Frequency,
It still
proximity
works.
is,
That's
yeah.
right. Proximity matters, but not always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to take a little break, which we can't
Yeah.
really pause the live, I don't think. I don't think we can
Mm.
pause the live. Let me have a look. Stop live stream. No, I don't think I want to stop live stream. I'm just going to turn off my audio and my video
Gotta
and
go to the
go
toilet.
relieve myself, and then I'll turn it back on, and then we'll start on the book, yeah?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Mm. Oh, oh,
I'm back.
awesome.
I was
Awesome.
just thinking when I was, because I'm always thinking, um,
Mm.
how awesome it is for um our community to just be in class with you.
Yeah, like taking notes and this is how we
Yeah,
roll.
well, like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like we're actually got online to start doing what we are about to start doing, and we've
Mm.
spent an hour and a half coming in and out of discussion, which is it's begun by you asking a question or saying
Yeah.
something, and then I'm refining the thought
Yeah.
around it. And this is how we teach and learn. This is apprenticing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the most important thing is that you become more aligned with my thought frequency,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's why you apprentice. So
Yeah.
most people think, like, what would you, if someone said, what are you doing these days? And you say, I'm apprenticing, what would they
Mm.
think you're doing?
Trade or something. They're like,
Yeah,
not very, um,
something really practical.
yeah.
Like you have
Yeah.
to learn to physically do something, and maybe there's some
Yeah.
information involved, but you're there to physically learn how to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hands
Well,
on for sure.
right. So now I have a question for you. Is the apprenticing that you're apprenticing with a teacher of healing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is your apprenticing practical?
Well, yes, if I want to adapt to the frequency of the new
Right.
era,
Yeah, yeah.
which I know,
So
yeah,
it is practical.
100%. Yeah,
It's like going to university. It's just not an organized curriculum
that's
because
Piscean. All
because it's
university.
because it's adapted to what you're asking me and where you're
Yes,
at.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
It's
it is like going to university. And the only reason why Xanthia doesn't pay me an incredibly large wage is because we're building Millennial Force together. And
yeah.
her, like, she's helping me edit the book. A
Mhm.
teacher needs a student to be able to teach. So I need to be teaching. I'm told I need to be teaching. And then, oh, here is the student for you to teach. And so
Yeah,
for me to
you're living
create
it.
teaching content, like this is teaching content, I
Yeah,
have to have someone to teach. And so Xanthia is paying her way.
I am. I am.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Okay. All right. So I think the
That's it.
best way to do it is to share
Hmm.
my screen.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. I am screen sharing. What can people see? What do you think,
Oh,
that it's just the
I
screen and they can't see us?
I can, so I'm on my phone, so I'm really not sure what the third party will see, but I can't,
Yeah.
like, I can see the horizontal tab and the,
Show meeting. What's meeting? Oh, I'm showing the
yeah,
meeting. And
I don't
now
even know if my face would be
I
on
don't
it.
know. Hide meeting. I don't know. Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll have a look.
Well, yeah, exactly. This is
Yeah.
all testing, everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Our technical testing of things. I think they can only see my
You.
files. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is the characters that are going to be on the cover of the book.
Hmm. Very
Um,
attractive.
for this one, it's called um Malena Valley, Dreaming the Village. And so it's part one and part two. We're just going to start with part one. I think the best place to begin is chapter one, yeah?
Okay. Yep.
And then we
In the
can,
actual book, you will see there's like a bit of a forward, the gratitude section, and like
yeah,
index pages, glossaries. So
yeah,
yeah, let's go
yeah.
to chapter one.
Okay, so on your phone, I just want to make sure that um is it better if I take the tabs out and make the screen a little bit more phone
That's
shaped?
much better. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah,
So if I do that for everyone out, in the world,
they'll
is
be able
that
to see.
better? Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll see things better. I presume it's a test. It's all test.
yeah,
Okay. So, what's our goal? Our goal is to read through. You share your comments with me.
yeah.
I can write them into the Google Doc by putting add comments. Okay. And we'll just do chapter one. Yeah, and
That's
then
it.
we'll go off on our day. It's the end of your day, so it's after
Yeah,
tea for you.
I'll go grab some dinner. So that'll be perfect. Let's do
Okay.
chapter one.
All right. It's 11:30 my time. So let's see how long this takes.
Cool,
Would you like
cool.
me to read? Chapter one, Ethan
Yes.
sits in circle, because while I'm reading, I might make corrections too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I'm
You
so
got,
goddamn nervous. That needs an exclamation mark, doesn't it?
yeah. Oh, maybe a comma. Well, well, this is what I
Um,
had.
I'm so goddamn nervous. Well, because I've now got an exclamation mark, it's a new sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
Ethan slowly admitted
Mm-hmm.
this to
Yep.
himself. This is my first time traveling alone. I thought I'd feel adventurous, but I'm just feeling so desperately alone. Everything so far has been so much to think about. I can't recall the last time I had to do things that I hadn't done a million times. The
Yeah.
tickets weren't easy. The hotel, getting from the airport to the hotel, and then waiting until the room was ready because my flight arrived much earlier than their housekeeping schedule. A new room. I'm so used to my apartment. I
Mm.
bought it and suffered the loan payments so I wouldn't have to move all the time and have to get used to new places. Oh gosh, the packing and
Um,
unpacking. How did I
I
get to this ripe age of 26 and still be so sheltered? The
I
only
put a
thing in my
comma.
life, hang
Okay.
on, you have to wait till I finish because of
Okay.
Zoom, they can all they're going to hear is the sound swapping between one to the other.
Mm.
So we'll just do one paragraph at a time, and then you can go back and tell me where you've got changes.
Good. Yeah, good
Yeah.
idea.
Okay. I get to this ripe age of 26 and still be so sheltered. How did I get to this ripe age of 26 and still be so sheltered? The only thing in my life that's been anything like this amount of instant restructuring has been moving house. Each time I've had to do that, my mum just took over and put from me after seeing the first sign of overwhelm. My
Yeah.
first
Instead of
sign of overwhelm. She did all the thinking. This is going to be a big upgrade. Okay. Comment time.
Oh yeah, I just had one. It's
Yeah,
just
go.
oh gosh. I would have put a comma after oh gosh because it's like oh gosh.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. All
So
right.
I also
Yeah.
had a comment here about joining into one big paragraph or splitting because Ethan's mum, those two sentences there, Ethan's mum
Mm.
used to tell me, or is that the start of the next one? Because just on the book it splits. So let's just see the big upgrade.
Oh, Ethan's mum used to tell him is a new
Yeah.
paragraph.
Okay. So that starts onto the next page. Okay, then that's
Yeah.
fine.
Can you see on the screen? Can you see?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it
Yeah.
now.
The big
But I
upgrade and then it goes to the next paragraph.
Well, I thought it was still a connecting like kind of theme with the taking over, and then the
Yes.
next one is Ethan continued in the internal monologue. So I would put those two sentences either in that really large paragraph or split the large paragraph and keep that with it. But
I'm not
do you know?
understanding. I'm not
So Ethan,
understanding.
so if you say each time I've had to do with my mum, so anything to do with the mum, I thought would be better to be grouped together. So those two
Mhm.
sentences on the end
Which
would
one?
be
Which one? Which one?
so the
Tell me the sentence.
Ethan's
Ethan's
mum,
mum used to tell him, oh, so that to be up here.
yeah.
Ethan's mum used to tell him, your big brain, well, that has to be on a new line.
Okay.
That's why it's separate.
Okay. Okay.
Ethan's mum used to tell him, your big brain has so many other important things to think about. And then that can go up here, though. Ethan continued his internal monologue, despite there being people slowly arriving and sitting down around where he had sat himself.
That feels like
Looking,
convenient. Yeah.
say again?
No, that's fine. All good.
Yes?
Yeah, it's just like a different then you get brought back into the present moment. So it's like but yeah, it works. It's good. Yeah.
Ethan used to tell
I think it
him
works. Yeah. It just
an upgrade. Yeah, because that's past. Let me have a look. Ethan's mum used to tell him that. I'm going to take it out of this. Tell him that his big brain has so many other important things to think about.
and then new paragraph. That's what it feels yeah.
Ethan continued his internal monologue despite there being people slowly arriving and sitting down around where he had sat himself
Yeah.
in the circle, so they
Mm-hmm.
can visually see. Looking back in my 26 years, comma,
Mm-hmm.
she might have let me have a go. I love
Yeah.
that. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Um, looking back, I think full stop.
Look, are we already in the monologue? So do we still do the internal?
He's talking to himself. Looking
Yeah.
back, in my 26 years, she might have let me have a go. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Maybe once or twice anyway, to get a bit of practice in and not make me such a big baby.
Rough. Yeah.
Oh, big baby. Ethan was unaware of the discussion circle filling up around him. His focus was inside of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Nope.
No, that's perfect. Yep.
Okay. Not to worry, I'll use my big brain now, he reassuringly thought to himself. He put his hands down and pressed his fingers into the lush green manicured grass. Taking a breath, I reckon that should be in the same paragraph because
Yeah,
it's still in the same action.
exactly. Yeah, I like
Taking a
that.
breath, still sensing his bubble of singularity around him, he also recognized another feeling. Ethan knew he was here independently, and yet right then, in that moment, he didn't feel lonely anymore.
Mm.
After his mind had anxiously kept him in his own space internally, outside of him had grown a circle of young, quietly smiling faces. And I think full stop.
Yeah, Yeah.
all
And
slightly alone too. Maybe
mhm.
they were.
They looked, oh, they were, yeah.
They were all slightly alone too. Now he's using his eyes. He looked up to see all of these faces doing the same thing as him. He realized the similarity he'd he'd had no, he had he realized the similarity he had with all of these faces.
Yeah, because it's
Oh,
like recognized that's in the past. So it is in the, yeah.
yeah, simple past. He realized the similarity he had because he's looking at them and then he recognized, which belonged to some very different looking people. Yeah, so he's realizing his similarity. It's such a long time since I wrote this that it's
I
like reading it for the first time.
So
Um,
do you think a new paragraph or do you think keep it as the big one?
um,
But still,
from
oh,
where
um,
he looked up.
he, yeah, he looked up to see all their faces. Maybe that is an action that can break it after his
Yeah.
mind. Yeah.
Okay. He looked up to see all of these faces, all of these faces, all of
All
the,
their faces? Or
all of their faces, because he's mentioned them, hasn't he? Yeah, quite smart. He looked up to see all of their faces, or maybe their expressions, because we've used faces.
yeah, good.
Sorry, my air conditioner suddenly got really cold. He looked up to see all of their expressions doing the same thing as him. He
Yeah.
realized the similarity he had with all of these faces, which belonged to some very different looking people. He
Yeah.
noticed clearly that he noticed clearly
That he had
no,
had,
had something. He
had
clearly
yeah.
what he had, yeah?
He noticed clearly, yeah, what he had in common with these people. Yeah.
Yeah, what he had in common. What's the matter? Clearly, what? Okay. He noticed clearly what he had in common with these others who were sitting cross-legged on the freshly cut grass with him in this introduction to the program circle. I'm sitting with others who all seem to not really know each other. Maybe we need um Ethan's whoops.
Yeah, indenting or like the
No,
monologue part.
yeah,
Oh,
Ethan's monologue
continue.
started up again
Yeah.
in his thoughts. I'm
Yeah.
sitting with others who all seem to not really know each other either. I still can't shake the feeling of being so darned awkward.
Hmm.
Um, Ethan
Yeah. Full
thought,
stop or
yeah.
yeah. Or
Do I
yeah.
need that comma in there? I don't think so. I still can't shake the feeling. Oh, yeah, we need that. Um, no, maybe not
Maybe
that because it's a continuation.
yeah.
Um, in his thoughts. I'm sitting with others who all seem to not really know each other either. But I, maybe,
Mm.
and I, maybe, and I
And then,
still can't shake the of feeling
yeah.
of, mm,
Awkwardness.
yeah, there's too many feeling and being. I still can't shake the feeling of awkwardness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. I'm going to put the darned, shake the darned feeling of, yeah, awkwardness. Ethan thought anxiously to himself. I'm brave enough to make little glances, but not for too long. Why the heck did I become a shy guy?
I just thought maybe instead of why the heck, maybe when the heck did I become a shy guy? I don't know. Up to you.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah,
a
yeah. It's a nicer question, isn't it? Like
yeah.
yeah, when did that happen?
Yeah.
That happened? I don't remember making that decision.
Yeah.
Ethan's mind was whirring. He decided to look quickly around the group. He wanted to make contact with his fellow program members, but then suddenly felt he was intruding into their space, and he would no, there's too much. Hang on.
Yeah. This is a long one.
Yeah.
Um,
Ethan's
let's
mind
break
was
it up.
going. I'm glad we're doing this process because it's been such a long time since I did this work that and now I'm reading it like the first time. So I really should pre-read
Yeah,
the next
but even
chapter before we come in.
your writing style's been more refined. Like you've written a lot more since then. So it's just,
Well,
you know,
yeah. Well, I didn't really know how to write write a story.
yeah. Well, it was all channeled. It was just like
Yeah, yeah. It's like I'm just gonna write this thing.
get it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Ethan's mind was whirring. He decided to look quickly around the group. He wanted to make eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, yeah,
Yep.
eye
Yep.
contact with his fellow program members. We'll,
But instead of then, I would take out then, but
we'll
suddenly,
take out
or
but. Okay, yes, but
but
suddenly.
suddenly, but suddenly felt he was intruding. Full stop.
But
Oh,
suddenly
oh.
felt he, but he suddenly felt.
I was this. I don't know if this is a real thing, but I remember being told that you're not
Mm,
meant to start a sentence with but
no,
or
of course
and.
you're not. You're
I
not,
just, but
but
it's
you
an
can.
internal monologue. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You wonder, but we can take this out
I would
and just
take it out and said
continue it.
full stop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
He
he
wanted to make
suddenly
eye contact with his fellow program members, but he suddenly felt,
he
comma,
would
he was intruding into their space.
full stop.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
definitely. And then
Yes. There we go.
he would, he would suddenly and really he would look down suddenly.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to
Oh,
shift it because he would look down suddenly.
are we using
And
suddenly twice?
no,
No.
I'm going to take out the other one. He would look down. Well, where's the other one?
Above it, and he suddenly felt he was intruding into their
Oh,
space.
he would look down. He would look. He would look down. Okay,
Yeah.
hang on. Let me
I
read
would.
this. He wanted to make eye contact with his fellow program members, but he suddenly felt he was intruding into their space. He would look down instantly and very awkwardly into into the grass. We don't need again, as if something was so very interesting there.
In there. Yeah.
Yes, a little acting on his part. He was
Yeah.
feeling so wound up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put Ethan instead of he. Ethan was feeling so wound up at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
His body was starting to twitch a little. That gave him something else to think. More paranoid thoughts about. Poor guy. I feel sorry for him. They gave him something else
Mm.
to think more, maybe some more, because it
Yeah.
feels a bit weird without
Add on.
something else in
Or
there. That gave him
this.
something else. No, that gave him something else to think
I was just thinking that gave him
more,
something more to think, more
more.
to, yeah, just
They
take
gave
out else
him it gave him more.
to
Okay.
ponder.
Yeah, yeah. The think is in the wrong place. It gave him something more. Uh, no, they
To
gave
obsess over, to,
something more to think is in there. Paranoid thoughts about. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? That gave him something more to think paranoid thoughts about. Yeah, it was the placement of the action that was wrong.
yeah,
I'm already letting my brain take control. I'm making bad impressions, he self-criticized, comma,
yeah, comment, yeah, cool.
before I've even shoved my foot in my mouth,
Full stop.
comma. Is it comma
Or like
there?
an
Comma,
exclamation.
and
Oh,
then little he laughed. Oh no, there's more. There's more. Hang on. There's more in the sentence.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
He
guess it's a
laughed a
good
little at
moment.
himself. So predictable. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I'm making impressions, he self-criticized. Before I've even shoved my foot in my mouth. He laughed a little at himself. So predictable. I love that he's thinking about himself. Like it's just funny.
Yes. Yes.
Then his
Because
brain jumped him into another idea. The question of, now I don't know if this is correct. I think, oops, of maybe comma? No, maybe
oh,
just
semicolon, like the two dots,
like a
or
colon like that or semicolon.
one is like an expression. Maybe I don't know the differences.
Then his brain jumped him into another idea. Maybe we don't need that. That's just a little bit
Yeah.
of fluff, isn't it, really? And then I can put, why do humans seem to self-flagellate? How, uh, why? No, no, no. I think that's sort of that. Whoops. Um,
No.
maybe they, like observation.
Yes, he's observing himself. He's doing what he's
Yeah,
doing.
that's right. They then watch each other berating, and then they watch, just the wrong way around, and then they watch each other berating themselves. Okay, so we'll take this away. That has to be, unfortunately, that has to be a capital A
Yeah.
because it's punctuation. And then they watch each other berating themselves. Then, oh, we don't have to have and because it's
Yeah.
like a list. We can go like this. Then they watch each other berating themselves, then accept that we all put ourselves down. And so, therefore, this is a thing that is to be done to us and by us.
Question mark.
That question mark is, we need to make it a
Is it
question.
is it a statement or a question? Yeah.
This then accept that this is a thing.
Unless
So
you want to put a comma with
therefore,
question.
and then therefore, uh,
Yeah.
we need to put therefore, is this a thing that is to be done to us and by us? What's a therefore is this is okay, wrong, too many is's. Okay. Yes, I like that. Is this a thing? It's like a tirade of ideas, and then it ends.
Yeah.
Why do humans seem to self-flagellate? Then they watch each other berating themselves, then accept that we all put ourselves down. So, therefore, is this a thing that is to be done to us and by us?
Yeah.
That's
It
right. Ethan was so deeply captured inside of his twisting and winding thoughts, he oh
could. Oh, thoughts.
inside of his twisting and winding thoughts. I think
He
we're
could
gonna
only, I
he
would
could
say,
yeah, that's probably what it was. He could only in that moment, oh yeah, the only is in the wrong place.
yeah.
Notice the air moving swiftly against his skin on his left arm and leg as a way of being alerted to her.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Ethan was so he could only in that moment notice the air. Maybe notice the air, comma,
You know?
moving swiftly against his skin on his left arm and leg as a way of being alerted to her. Can we have so many commas? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
Google doesn't mind. Um, Ethan was so deeply captured inside of his twisting and winding thoughts. That's a phrase. He could only, in that moment, notice the air and then describing moving swiftly against his skin on his left arm and leg as a way. Yeah, that's
that works.
grammatically correct.
Cool.
It's grammatically correct, and I think breaking it up that way gives it drama.
Yeah. Yeah. Does.
So the reader can actually read it more dramatically if they can.
Yeah.
It's all about it's shifting now to her.
Yeah.
She sat next she sat down next to him with the grace of a warm Hawaiian breeze.
Oh, what a phrase.
I know it's pretty, isn't it? It's like, because it's not a visual description, but you can kind of feel it. With a
Mm.
gentleness anchored by her comfortably crossed legs, she shook out her hair. Long golden brown tresses fell almost as if they were part of a close-up movie shot from a 1980s Bond film. Can you see that in your head?
Yeah. Yeah.
In her hand, as Ethan's eyes shifted, like a director's cut from the hair to the hand, she held a smooth pointed stick with a shell placed neatly at the thicker end.
I think.
In,
Yeah.
yeah, go on.
Oh no, I'm just trying to visualize. Is that like a hairpiece?
Yeah, yeah, I've got one at home.
Oh.
It's a stick that has a what's she got in the yeah, it's
Basically,
like a shell that's flat, made
yeah.
flat on the end. You'll see it probably in the in the bathroom or in the drawers in the hallway. And
Okay.
it's like you can use it in your long hair, right? So you put your hair like twist it up, put it in a bun, and then you like if this is the stick, you put it under like this and over and under, and then it holds everything.
Oh, okay,
I'll show
cool.
you when I get home.
Okay, cool.
It's a Hawaiian thing. I
I
got
guess because
my
I hadn't heard of it before, so I was a bit confused. But like it's obvious it's something for the hair. I just
That's
like,
right. And it describes it a little bit more when it comes further. In
okay.
her yeah, in her hand, as Ethan's eyes shifted like a director's cut from the hair to the hand, she held a smooth pointed stick with a shell placed neatly at the thicker end. In
Mm,
not such friendly circumstances, this pen-sized hair ornament could double as protection. Maybe
mhm,
she is a Bond girl after all, mumbled Ethan's mind as it slipped a comment into the stream of his observations. Ethan
mhm,
found himself fascinated by her. There she was, so suddenly, the exact opposite of him. She belonged.
mm,
She seemed 100% comfortable being here. Her body said so. While sitting in her comfort, she fiddled with her hair stick in her right hand, looking at it like she'd not ever seen it at that particular angle before. She
mhm.
used, I think, full stop because
Yeah.
I wanted to, because I wanted to stop. She used her left hand to give herself a delightful head massage that made her neck relax and her shoulders drop. Ethan was watching this show with a barrage of comments flooding his mind, comma,
Mm.
about how long have you been too long? Oh, hang on. Mind about his yeah, because I was lost there, about his behavior.
Mm.
Full
About
stop.
her. Oh,
Yeah, go on. Ethan was watching this show with a barrage of comments flooding his mind
okay,
about his
about
behavior.
his behavior. Okay, I thought it was
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah, that's why I wrote about his behavior because I was questioning what the comments about? How long have you been?
Yeah,
That's about him.
yeah,
How long
watching.
have you been dot dot dot? Too long. Yeah.
Hmm.
Had he been invading her space? He pulled his gaze away. Not because this young woman seemed to care about his viewing of her, but because he wanted and needed a little space for himself. Well, yeah, for himself, for his reasons, for his
For his
thought,
shop, for his
or for his reasons. Like his, what kind of reasons? Nervous ones,
yeah.
nervous reasons. His tables moving. Ethan was not used to such intimate connections. They hadn't even spoken to each other, and he was feeling connected to this young woman. He averted his eyes to guard himself from the distractions they provided his mind. He looked into the grass, which told him
Again,
nothing. Yeah,
I
grass again.
again. Yeah,
Yeah, which told him nothing.
yeah.
He listened to his mind. He listened for the true and deep comment he would make to himself about what he had just seen.
I
Mm.
thought about maybe deep or like the truth, like instead of like the
Deep and
honest.
true,
Oh,
or the
sorry. No, I guess that's the same thing, isn't it? But he
what?
listened to
What's the
the
same?
true and honest, but true and deep comment. Deep. I don't know.
Well,
I
you can
just,
put
I
it the
just,
other way. He listened for the maybe the other way round is better.
Mm.
Deep and true. I think that's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Something I just, yeah, needed clarification.
Yeah, he listened for the deep and true comment. Uh, Maybe he would hear as
Mm.
hear as hear from himself, here we go, hear
About his observations.
from himself about what he had just seen.
Yeah.
So, like he has a lot of thoughts and then he's waiting for the kicker, the one that
Mm-hmm.
when all the monkey ones have run out.
Mm-hmm.
Her energy, and so this is what it is. Yeah, he's waiting, and then we get to hear it. Her energy is so smooth in comparison to mine. Ethan's mind kicked in as soon as his eyes had moved to focus on the blanket of grass in front of his crossed ankles. His mind was always set at a constant buzzing speed. It just didn't know how to slow down. It felt a
Mm-hmm.
little out of place here, comma, on this island, comma, with its
Yeah.
warm breezes and ocean sounds. He never had known anything else. His father had the same big brain as he did. His family and his community too. His family and praised him.
Well, I was going to say you could say full stop at two and say all praise him for his smarts. Like,
His family and his community. Well,
oh, it's the same thing.
yeah, his family and his community all. Instead of doing that, we'll put all praised him for his smart. Yeah, that's cleaner. He was starting to sense that these big brain smarts of his, comma, uh, yeah, were a little out of their depth here in Hawaii.
Is Hawaii spelled
Yeah,
AI? Oh, is that okay? Yeah.
yeah, it's Hawaii.
Okay.
Hawaii. It's Hawaii. Yeah.
Ah,
So usually it has this.
yeah.
So it's Hawaii.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay,
But no one uses that because it's annoying. So they just put double I.
gotcha.
Because the AI is a different sound. It's not Hawaii, it's Hawaii. The
Hawaii.
AI, the first, you got Hawai and then I.
Okay.
Does that make sense in terms of pronunciation? So, like if you
Yeah.
have ha, and then it's not Hawaii, it's Hawaii.
Okay. Yeah.
So, if you're going to write it in English letters, it would be Hawai. Hawaii. Or you go HA and then WHY, like the word Y,
Yeah.
Y.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but they don't use the AY. They use the AI is a I. It's like in Yiddish too. Yiddish has a EY and a AY sound.
Mhm.
Okay. What's the matter here? Of okay, let me have a look. He was starting to sense that these big brain smarts of his were a little out of their depth here in Hawaii. Hi, I'm Lani. Well, it's Leilani actually, but everyone just finds Lani easier. How are you today?
Mm.
Confidently spoken at just the right volume to be heard, but not to pierce too deeply into Ethan's thought bubble. Lani
Mm.
leant in only ever so slightly as she spoke it. It was so very natural and with a broad smile, as if she'd only ever received positive responses to the introductions she'd made before. The softness in her voice invited Ethan's gaze. Hi, I'm Ethan. That's my full name. I don't have a short one. I mean a nickname. Oh, sorry. I'm good today. A bit nervous though. How are you? You seem like you've been to this event before. You're really relaxed. Ethan
Yeah.
ram Ethan rambled on, speaking far too quickly for easy communication. Lani smiled. taking Ethan's outward manner in her stride. She placed her hand quietly and reassuringly on his knee and gave it a gentle but reassuring squeeze.
Or
Don't worry about
reassuring
it. Say again?
twice. Sorry, I just noticed reassuring twice.
Ah, she placed her hand gentle but what else can we say instead of
You could just say,
reassuring?
and gave it a gentle squeeze.
Yeah, a gentle. Don't worry about anything. You're in the right place. I can feel it. Her
Mm.
head did this little side nod that seemed like a wink, but her eyes kept on smiling and looking kindly into his soul.
Mhm.
Despite remaining nervous for a little while longer, Ethan began to accept her gentle waves of platonic love, and his energy began to settle. Lani seemed to have a truly soothing effect on his soul. Only moments into their conversation, Lani noticed the arrival of the group leaders. Oh, look, there they are. It's all going to begin now. Lani's voice became faster and more lively. The leaders walked across the well-kept lawn, their matching t-shirts and same-style tea leaf leis hanging around their necks.
I had
Were,
they had
were? Hey?
Yeah. I had at the start instead of their matching
Mhm.
t-shirts, I had they had matching t-shirts. I don't
Mhm.
know. Is it past or present?
They
That's
well, it's past tense telling. The leaders walked past tense. They had
I
only
don't know.
moments ago, and Lani noticed. She noticed. Because it's a retelling, I think. It's very hard. The tense is very hard. Despite remaining nervous for a little while, Ethan began to accept. Yeah, it's present tense up there, isn't it? Seems. Lani seen. No, I don't know. Gosh. Tense is hard, isn't it? Um,
Yeah. It flips in and out.
I'm it does, it comes in and out. Oh, sorry, because that's Ethan rambled on. Yeah, so it's a telling of something that happened in Ethan rambled on
But then
to
Lan
that, yeah. Lani smiled. She placed her hand. Okay, I'm gonna have to reread it for tense, I think.
Mhm.
Um, don't worry, you're right, I can feel it. Her head. Okay. I'm gonna just put a note here.
Yeah. Just double check it.
Read for tense. Because I can do that quite
Hmm.
easily. Okay. Only moments into their conversation, because that means I got to track it from the entire
Totally. Yeah.
beginning of
It's
the
better to do it.
chapter to notice where the tense has gone. Because yeah, editing is a hard job. I never
Totally.
realized how it is.
Yeah, one chapter at a time, I think will
Mm.
be enough for our brains.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm understanding what I need to do. I need to read through and do all the changes that I need to make first
Yes.
so
And
that
then
it
we can
doesn't take us as long. Yeah. And we may not get to the end of the chapter before we want to go, you want to eat. Um, Only moments into their conversation, Lani noticed the arrival of the group leaders. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, look, there they are. It's all going to begin now. Lani's voice became faster. Yeah, so I get the tense. The leaders walked across the well-kept lawn. They had matching t-shirts and same style tea leaf leis, which hung.
Yeah. Hung around. Yeah. That hung around their necks.
Yeah, which hung around their necks. All four arms were filled with swinging, colourful flower leis that followed the flow and rhythm of their steps across to the group. They
Yeah.
carried smiles which indicated their deep knowing of what delights and pleasures the opening circle would bring everyone. They
Mm,
walked full of peace, steadily, as if hovering on an invisible wave. As they approached the group, they began connecting with everyone, comma, full stop, something. Um,
mm. Comma
um,
with happy
maybe
nods.
with, yeah,
Mm. Oh, too many with.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. As they approached the group, they began connecting with everyone.
Full stop.
Um, yeah, maybe we'll just
Their
put
happy nods. Oh,
Happy nods and waves from hands hidden by the floral lace um,
uh,
began the um, the welcoming process. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Approaching the group of visitors with wide, welcoming arms, they motioned. Oh, too much welcoming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Approaching
Okay.
the group of visitors with wide, welcoming arms, they motioned to the group.
Yeah. Sitting on the grass.
Motioned to
Sitting
the group, comma, sitting on the ground on their comfortable mats. Um, they
on the
motioned,
ground.
what did they motion? They motioned, um,
Ahoy. I don't know. They
or what did they do with their arms? I need to know what
circular,
they did.
like
Um,
a come hither. What's the
oh,
what needs
like they motioned um the group, and now I know what they
to
did.
meet them?
They motioned the
Oh,
group to stand.
okay.
Um, oh no, not to stand, to watch while, because they stand up a little bit later, while sitting on the ground on their comfortable mats. Yeah,
Yeah. I
to
wanted
motion the group to watch them. Yeah. They demonstrated between each other, without words, how greetings are shared in Hawaii. And take this
mhm.
little thing away. Um, that needs to be capital. Arms open. Arms open. A gentle and loose embrace for balance. Because it's a colon, it needs the list to be forehead to forehead. How do you say? You say forehead or forehead?
Forehead.
A
That's
gentle,
been interesting. Yeah.
okay, it doesn't want capital there. Arms open, a gentle and loose embrace for balance. Um, yeah, it wants little one. Forehead to forehead or forehead to forehead to breathe in the ha breath, the essence of each other. Then, eye to eye, smiling, they said, Aloha, drawn out, a long O and a long ha. A whisper came from Lani across to Ethan. That's called the honey. Show you later. Ethan was fascinated by absolutely everything, mostly the fact that he had stepped off a few aeroplanes and directly into another world, a different speed of time, one that seemed to give extra space, like padding for respect and care, as he
Love that.
watched. Isn't it nice? I got chills.
Yeah.
As he watched them exchange the ha breath, I think I might put the doobies around
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
comma, he felt his body sighing.
Yeah.
Had he felt had he felt in his body what the group leaders had done? He thought
Metaphysical.
he thought deeply while scanning his body for further evidence. The stillness felt in that inward moment of sharing the breath of life, comma,
Yeah.
seemed like a moment of deep soul solace, a pause from the busy, separated world where everything acts like other. For
Mm.
just a heartbeat or two, there was nothing but connection. Connection that expected nothing,
Huh.
demanded nothing, except that life itself be present and honored.
Mm.
This was an opening show that Ethan would remember forever. He had felt something more human in those few moments. I
Comma.
don't know if that should
Yeah.
be a full stop,
Yeah.
comma,
Which
middle.
he had. Yeah, I think combine those. Yeah.
He had felt something more human in those few moments, something he had only ever read about.
I would take out the some.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a continuing from the other something. He had felt something more human in those few
Mm.
moments. Maybe, yeah, maybe it is a full stop. And it continues on. Something he, because it's kind of like poetry. He had felt something more human in those few moments. Something he had only ever read about had just come to life. I think that's understandable. Yes? No?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Does it feel like it should be connected? He had felt something more
Yeah.
human.
So look, I wouldn't want to use that something twice. So I would combine them if I was me. I would say he had
Okay,
felt
so
something
I
more
put
human
comma. Um,
in those few moments,
um, he had felt
which,
something more human in those few moments. Um,
comma,
and
which
a something. No, it has to be referring back to the something. So it has
yeah,
he had
which
felt something more human in those few moments. Um,
which he had only ever read about. Well, which is something he had only ever read. I would say which still gives
which
it the subject.
he
Yeah.
had felt something more human in those few moments. Maybe no, no. No, it has to be something. Um, he had felt something. A
That.
a sensation. I think a sensation he had only ever read about had just come to life within him. Yeah,
Okay.
hang on. I have to go
Maybe
back.
that's being a bit, yeah, too
Connection
many.
that expected nothing, demanded nothing, except alone. It was an opening to, he had felt something more human in those few moments um, than than he had only ever read about. He had felt something more human in those few moments than he had ever read about. He had
Yeah,
felt something more human in those few moments than he had ever read about.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, it had
It had
all
just,
it
yeah,
had all just come to life. Wow, that's better, isn't it?
yeah, I like that.
Okay, the teachers welcomed each individual student. I think we're coming to the end of the chapter, actually. This is the
Yeah, it's
last
good.
bit. The
Yeah.
teachers welcomed each individual student. They greeted each person with the exchange of heart breath, the honey. Then they then placed a fragrant lei around their neck. Okay, the they and the they and the they. The
Mhm.
teachers welcomed each individual student. Then take out one of them. Then greeted each person with the exchange of hard breath, the honey. Placing, we can do it like that. Just take out all these
Yeah,
like, articles and the conjunctions and stuff.
yeah.
Is that a space? Yeah. Placing a fragrant lei around their necks. Um, the students were welcomed with
Yeah,
aloha. Much
yeah,
nice. They suggested each because there's another they. They
yeah.
they
And this is
suggested there's
one big,
so many theys.
yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's boring to have so many theys. It's tricky, this English language thing. Um,
Uh-huh. To keep it spicy.
yeah, you gotta keep it spicy. They suggested each person greet some others in the same way of aloha. Um,
And so I think we should
maybe we'll
break
put
up this.
sharing the ha, put like this. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, you want to break this paragraph?
Oh, yeah, because it's all one right up until on
No,
my
this
page. Oh, is it different?
the teachers welcomed is a new paragraph.
Correct, correct, correct. Yep. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The teachers welcome, this is a new paragraph. Teachers welcomed each individual student, then greeted each person with the exchange of the ha breath. I don't think we need person. Greeted each with the exchange of the ha breath, the honey. Placing a fragrant lei around their necks, the students were welcomed with aloha. They suggested each person greet some of the others. I think is
Yeah.
better.
Or greet others in the same way. Just take out
Some of
some.
greet person greet others.
Or
Yeah.
greet their circle members
Greet
or
their new
the
classmates. Their new classmates. They're,
Classmates or retreat members or
yeah,
what?
their new
What's
community.
yeah, cool. Yeah.
Their new community members in the same way of aloha, sharing the ha.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we can just say with great care, they spent time, the team spent time with each random pair and showed them how to do the honey. Lani turned to Ethan and said, "Here, let me show you."
Mm.
She's so lovely and innocent, isn't she? And
Mm.
enthusiastic. Lani positioned Ethan's body and then placed her body directly in front of his. She slowly pointed to her forehead and then his, and her pointing finger,
Mm.
pointy,
Pointer. Point.
pointer,
Depends on the tense. Which
her pointer
so
finger was a description of which finger?
pointer. Oh, point.
Pointer. Her
And her
pointer
point.
finger. Is that what it's called? Her
Oh, point. Oh, oh
index
yeah.
finger. Is it
Yeah.
index finger?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's call it by its real name then, rather than childhood name. Her pointer finger, because that's the finger we point with, but I don't think that's really the name of that finger. Is it index finger?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Index finger. I don't know what that one's called. That's a ring finger. It's a little finger. It's thumb. I wonder what that
Yeah.
one is. Middle finger. Middle. Thumb, index or pointer finger. I
Yeah.
think pointer finger is the child name for it. She slowly pointed to her forehead and then his, and her index finger slowly moved from his direction to hers. Can you see it? She pointed to her forehead and then
Yeah.
to his, and then to his,
Yeah.
and her index finger slowly moved from his direction to hers. Can you see that she's asking him to put his forehead on
Yeah.
hers when you're
Yeah.
reading? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, good. Ethan
Mhm.
leant forward a touch so that their foreheads would touch forward a what's another word for that? A touch, a smidge, a bit, a bit,
Yeah.
forward a
A
bit.
fraction. A fraction. A fraction. So their
Yeah, that's
foreheads.
a very Ethan word, isn't it? A fraction.
Yeah.
Like Ethan leant forward a fraction, so we don't need that, so their foreheads would touch gently. Although it felt incredibly intimate, there was nothing sexual about it. Lani
Mm.
continued to instruct Ethan, place your nose, the tip, on mine.
Mm.
Ethan did so, and as he did, Lani placed her hands oh so gently, on his
Mm-hmm.
shoulders. It was not about movement, but about connection. Should that be different? It was not about movement, but about
Movement.
movement. It was not
As
about
if
movement.
it was.
Maybe full stop. So there's no confusion. Um, it was. It was all about connection. You are welcome to do the same, Lani quietly said. What's she referring to? Ethan
Mm.
it's not about movement, it was all about
I thought
connection.
he was copying her well.
It was all okay. So he place your nose, the tip on mine. Ethan did so. Oh, the same, the shoulders. Okay. You're welcome to put your hands on my shoulders because if I don't understand, if I can't remember what she's talking about, no
Oh
one
yeah,
else.
yeah.
You're
It's the
welcome.
oh so gently that you remember of that.
Yeah. Uh, you're welcome to place your hands on my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever done this with anyone?
Um, Not really. No,
I'll
not in
show I'll
lifetime.
I'll show you what it's like. It's amazing.
Oh, the
Beautiful.
pony. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
Okay.
honey is absolutely beautiful. I'll show you how to do it when I get home.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll go
You can't
Hawaiian.
do it. You can't do it without community. You have to be in community to feel it. It's just so beautiful. You're welcome to place your hands on my shoulders, Lani quietly said. Now let's take in the hard breath. Let's put thingies around. the breath of life, and just enjoy the connection and stillness. Ethan felt the safest he had ever felt in his life. To him, it was a kind of connection and intimacy that involved a beautiful level of trust and love, something which he had just never had in his life.
Mm. Hmm.
He had thoughts trying to poke themselves through into the peace he had discovered. We were just talking about that earlier, weren't we? For the
Yes.
first time in his memory of himself, Ethan had had a very strong reason to tell his busy thinking brain to settle down and wait. Full
Hmm.
stop.
Yeah.
He
He
wasn't
was.
going to be distracted away from this. He allowed the two long breaths, which took only a few seconds, to last as long as he possibly could. Full stop. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
to make them with the he desired to make them with the most intense focus he could muster, taking in each and every detail of them. Full stop. At the same time,
Uh-huh.
at the same time,
Not being it. Yeah. Okay.
he could not. At the same time is comma. Um, he could not
Be. Huh?
could not come up with even one word of description for it afterwards.
So
Oh, how
he was.
beautiful is that?
Yeah.
So he
He
desired to make them with the most, make them. What is he
lost
making?
for
The breath.
words.
Okay, desired to make his breaths with the most, make them with the
Make
most, make them with, yeah, is making the breaths with the most intense focus he could muster, taking in each and every detail of them. At the same time, he could not come up with even one word of description for it afterwards. So he was so lost in the moment of that
Yeah.
right hemisphere that he didn't even like no analysis whatsoever. When the
Yeah.
greetings were complete, it was time to place earthly names to the loving souls they'd just greeted and welcomed a little into their hearts.
Into all their hearts. All their hearts.
Mm.
Into their
Yeah,
hearts. All. Oh, it
into
doesn't matter. I had that. But what
yeah.
would earthly be capital E or keep it as just E?
Earth. When they're going to place. Yeah, probably because it's a place name. But it's a description.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just
I think not. I think
okay.
not. Time to place earthly names to the loving souls they just greeted and welcomed. What if I put E and then take it away? Maybe it'll come up. No, I have to
Mhm.
decide it.
Yeah.
Um, souls they just greeted and welcomed a little into their hearts. Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Wow, we got to the end of the chapter.
Ah,
Very
exactly.
cool. Okay, I'm going to put a comment here. How do I add?
You reply to yourself, I think. Or do you want to add a new one?
I want to add a new one. How do I add a
Oh,
comment?
you like, yeah, do that. Yeah. You like highlight the
Yeah.
whole word. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Very good. Um, okay. Chapter complete.
Mm, 24th of July.
Oh, it'll track that, I think. Doesn't
Oh,
matter. I just need to know that we've been through this chapter. Look at the
yeah.
last word. Have you been through the chapter?
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
Okay. Stop that screen share. Oh, that was pretty good. Pretty good. What time did we say it was? That took an hour. That chapter took an hour.
11:30 when you
Yeah.
started, yeah, on
Yeah.
your time.
Well, that's cool. Very cool. So, I
How
don't
many
know. That
pages?
Yeah, I don't know. You can have a look.
Mhm. Oh, for me, yeah, because your pages.
Yeah, mine are not printed.
Yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay.
Okay,
Probably
one
like,
hour. 1 hour. Let's be competitive with ourselves.
yeah. Yeah, try to keep it. I think
See
so.
if we can do, how many pages was it?
11. I
11
think.
pages. All right. Okay, 11 pages per hour.
Yeah. So it's about, no, less than 10, like 7 minutes a page. I don't know. I'm
Well,
good.
I don't know if we should get that defined about
That's your left brain. And I've hit a wall, so I'm going to go get
Yeah,
something to.
yeah. Well, it was a good test. I think we
Yeah.
I
I
think
enjoyed the discussion. That was really
yeah,
good.
and yeah, I think it's really important to like if we fall into those discussions to have them
Mm,
because
mm,
it's well it's good for you, it's good for other people and then also if we want after the live is all up there for a while, you can always like download it, take that front off it and clip it
mm.
as current content. Like this is discussion we're having while we are
Yeah,
editing Malena Valley,
yeah,
Dreaming the Village live. Yeah.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
editing live. Come and
yeah,
watch us work
yeah,
and they can see what what we're doing. There's a lot of there are people out there who want to write this sort of stuff
yeah.
and they like they want to know what's involved at each stage and you just
Mm-hmm.
never know because the Aquarian age is all about creativity.
Yes, yes, and
And so there
collaboration
should be a
and
thousand
groups.
billion writers on the planet. There should be lots of more writers of fiction, and inspired by things that have inspired you in your
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, um, yeah.
Or they've tried to do it and they've had a lived experience, you know, of wanting
Yeah.
to do it.
You just,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's no harm, no foul to just show people who we are and what we do and how we do it and
Yeah.
encourage people, like just in case you go to the end, come and talk to us in our WhatsApp community. Why not? Like you
Yeah.
leaving a comment here is fine. You can leave comments here and it'll report back to us and we'll find them, etc. But if you really want to like ask a question and you want us to get the question and answer the question, come into the WhatsApp community because it's completely free to ask questions which we can answer together on Sunday
Mm-hmm.
chats,
Mm-hmm.
which are now live. So can't guarantee you when they're going to be at the moment until we're both in the same place where we can
Yeah.
actually make a booking with each other because it's a bit hard I'm navigating my environment here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so and I don't know what time Xanthia's walking the dogs and et cetera, et cetera. So we have to kind of just do it when we can do it. Um, but yeah, like come and join in. Come and join in. So there's
Yeah.
Instagram and I think we're gonna start um announcing the Sunday chats when
On WhatsApp.
once I get the link, I send
Mhm.
you the link.
Yes.
Before we start the live, we'll put the link onto the WhatsApp announcement group, so the main
Good.
group. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's an encouragement if you want to know when we're going to go live,
Mhm.
sign up to that one.
Cool. Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's all a learning journey. And even you don't have to watch. There's nothing to watch. There's nothing to see. Once you know what I look like and what Xanthia looks like, there's nothing else to see. So it's
Yeah.
really just, listening while you're going for a walk
Yeah.
or while you're doing the dishes or cleaning a house or we all have those things to do. And
Yeah.
I find listening to people who have the same frequency that I want to attune to is
Mm.
really, really helpful
Mm.
for
Mm-hmm.
self-reflection. And the more time or experiences you have, which is minutes of experience, um,
Mm.
the more time you spend attuning to the mental frequency that you want to aspire to, even if you're not there. So if
Yeah.
you find someone that has a high level of cosmic mind, you should just listen to them, even if you're not concentrating on what they're talking about. It doesn't matter. It's metaphysically of value to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's more that comes to you than what you can understand through the language.
Yeah.
There's way more because we're metaphysical first. So if I'm talking about something and you haven't really caught on to what it was that we were talking about, or the conversation's a bit choppy, it doesn't mean you don't have it. You have it in terms of your body is absorbing that frequency. And so when you're back in your life and life is trying to pull you away from that frequency, you can feel a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can pay attention to what's going on here. I liked being in that peaceful space. I was listening to Joanna and Xanthia while I was on my walk, and then I walked into my house and no one said anything, but all of a sudden I felt this on top of me. I didn't have this, huh.
Yeah.
So what is that? What's going on here? And it's not about blame, it's just about awareness. Awareness
Yeah.
and working out what you can do with your awareness. That's the creativity of the Aquarian age.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
Xanthia is
Exactly.
about to fall asleep because the middle of my day I need to have breakfast. Xanthia needs to have
Yeah,
dinner.
been a long
Stop
day. So
working.
yeah.
Stop working. Joanna's awake. Xanthia's going to sleep. All right.
Okay.
It's
Thank
been
you so much.
lovely. This has been really
Chapter
good.
one.
One chapter down,
Yeah. How many do we have left?
23 to go.
Yeah. I think there's 12, 28
Oh,
after
27
these.
to go.
Yeah.
Ah,
Cool.
it's all much of a muchness, isn't it? But it's
This a
really
whole month.
nice. It's really nice to get into the story. Like I haven't
It
read it
is.
like a whole year.
Oh, it's
Mm.
like a homecoming.
Yes, yes. Yeah, like I forget what the beginning of Ethan's journey was like.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
that's
I
what I
because
mean.
I brought him through like only a week's worth of life, but I brought him through to a
Hmm.
whole new world that he's starting, living.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's exciting. And
Very
you know
cool.
when we were doing it, I'm thinking, oh wow, we're reading through it. People don't have to buy the book. And I thought, you know what? If people sit and
I'll
listen to
keep it
this,
going. Yeah.
they need me to pay them.
Yeah.
On the other way around. This is hard. It's a lot of listening and not a
Yeah.
lot of like, there's
Whole
a lot of
editing
toing and
process.
froing,
Plus,
a lot of
they wouldn't
talking
know
about
the
things.
whole thing in its totality because
Yeah,
we've gone back, changed it.
that's
So,
right, that's right. But it's also, like if people want community, here we are. This is what we're
yeah,
doing.
yeah. This is Aquarius. That's
This
it.
is Aquarian.
Hmm.
And, come and join Millennial Force. Why not? Be a force of nature.
Yes, exactly. Come join our circuit, our
Yeah,
electrical.
yeah. Jump in the circuit. All right. I
Okay.
will
Talk to
see you
you.
tomorrow for
Yes, I'll
more.
message you later
Yeah.
on and we
Okay.
can chat.